reflex, reflex, gallantry, gallantry, linguistics, linguistics, vibrate, vibrate, advertising, advertising, exclusively, exclusively, parasitic, parasitic, immigrant, immigrant, corpse, corpse, chronic, chronic, fluff, fluff, unclear, unclear, akin, akin, parallel, parallel, aggregate, aggregate, herbivore, herbivore, adjoin, adjoin, fertile, fertile, subscribe, subscribe, indignant, indignant, striking, striking, tissue, tissue, cosmetics, cosmetics, plea, plea, slavery, slavery. Impede, impede, mindset, mindset, dioxide, dioxide, swamp, swamp, resign, resign, insanity, insanity, infer, infer, determined, determined, lifetime, lifetime, descended, descended, segment, segment, overweight, overweight, sincerity, sincerity, convene, convene, dissipate, dissipate, scented, scented, uncertainty, uncertainty, recharge, recharge, availability, availability, bewitch, bewitch, saint, saint, species, species, chisel, chisel, synthesis, synthesis, continually, continually, fetus, fetus, misty, misty, anchor, anchor, lean, lean, dexterous, dexterous, spite, spite, precedent, precedent, beckon, beckon, upbringing, upbringing, comprehensible, comprehensible, initially, initially, provoke, provoke, alien, alien, considered, considered, baggy, baggy, definition, definition, spoiler, spoiler, clone, clone, characteristic, characteristic, vocational, vocational, sprint, sprint, discrimination, discrimination, sprout, sprout, cognitive, cognitive, authorize, authorize. Evoke, evoke, nasty, nasty, clumsy, clumsy, fascinate, fascinate, expense, expense, socialize, socialize, spontaneous, spontaneous, seasoned, seasoned, practically, practically, disastrous, disastrous, saturate, saturate, heredity, heredity, oppression, oppression, secrete, secrete, minister, minister, infiltrate, infiltrate, peg, peg, janitor, janitor, convertible, convertible, critical, critical, persevere, persevere, treason, treason, medication, medication, stiff, stiff, tremendous, tremendous. Embed, embed, internalize, internalize, vivacious, vivacious, seriousness, seriousness, reminiscence, reminiscence, indulgence, indulgence, genealogy, genealogy, institute, institute, uncertain, uncertain, implement, implement, exceptional, exceptional, eradicate, eradicate, battleship, battleship, compliant, compliant, terrain, terrain, gut, gut, dejected, dejected, antique, antique, considerably, considerably, preclusion, preclusion, comparable, comparable, geologic, geologic, bystander, bystander, dismay, dismay, normally, normally. Offense, offense, unearth, unearth, subtract, subtract, treatment, treatment, afflict, afflict, dispute, dispute, sojourn, sojourn, overwhelm, overwhelm, ponderous, ponderous, integral, integral, podium, podium, pound, pound, evaluation, evaluation, comprehend, comprehend, enthusiasm, enthusiasm, anthropology, anthropology, conspiracy, conspiracy, flatly, flatly, fuss, fuss, productive, productive, invalid, invalid, advanced, advanced, inherit, inherit, ratio, ratio, audit, audit. Forearm, forearm, navel, navel, connote, connote, errant, errant, expanse, expanse, deviation, deviation, unsuitable, unsuitable, incident, incident, dissatisfaction, dissatisfaction, subconscious, subconscious, choir, choir, spectacle, spectacle, blatant, blatant, ruthless, ruthless, rampage, rampage, exhale, exhale, empathize, empathize, bishop, bishop, unnoticed, unnoticed. Verdict, verdict. Oriental, oriental. Plentiful, plentiful. Unfold, unfold. Abruptly, abruptly. Reflective, reflective. Fervor, fervor. Consecutive, consecutive. Heresy, heresy. Futile, futile. Mutual, mutual. Propriety, propriety. Superfluous, superfluous. Hustle, hustle. Interpretation, interpretation. Ultimately, ultimately. Recur, recur. Idyllic, idyllic. Shrivel, shrivel. Replenish, replenish. Massive, massive. Decline, decline. Capsize, capsize. Grainy, grainy. Secluded, secluded. Thoroughly, thoroughly. Equable, equable. Sagacious, sagacious. Circumstantial, circumstantial. Classify, classify. Bias, bias. Modernization, modernization. Hybrid, hybrid. Untimely, untimely. Vocal, vocal. Annoying, annoying. Linger, linger. Firsthand, firsthand. Artifact, artifact. Diffuse, diffuse. Destitute, destitute. Urgency, urgency. Plausible, plausible. Sidewalk, sidewalk. Ingredient, ingredient. Embargo, embargo. Synonym, synonym. Momentous, momentous. Short-tempered, short-tempered. Outmoded, outmoded. Innumerable, innumerable. Reluctance, reluctance. Outlook, outlook. Worn out, worn out. Allegory, allegory. Hypnosis, hypnosis. Expire, expire. Compound, compound. Responsibility, responsibility. Optic, optic. Warship, warship. Immature, immature. Capability, capability. Rationality, rationality. Deviate, deviate. Provision, provision. Trivial, trivial. Antonym, antonym. Associate, associate. Accord, accord. Alike, alike. Illegal, illegal. Bygone, bygone. Lethal, lethal. Syllable, syllable. Attraction, attraction. Bruise, bruise. Stunning, stunning. Stride, stride. Fineness, fineness. Bizarre, bizarre, indulge, indulge, obsess, obsess, efficient, efficient, artificial, artificial, endurable, endurable, litter, litter, illogical, illogical, barometer, barometer, annals, annals, ascertain, ascertain, penalize, penalize, motivation, motivation, necessity, necessity, quicken, quicken, leftover, leftover, ineffective, ineffective, anguish, anguish, transport, transport, shameful, shameful, furthermore, furthermore, helpless, helpless, scheme, scheme, ultraviolet, ultraviolet, certify, certify, adrift, adrift. Unreasonable, unreasonable, endowment, endowment, coolant, coolant, urbane, urbane, dedication, dedication, pertain, pertain, carnivorous, carnivorous, underlying, underlying, alter, alter, fortress, fortress, rationalize, rationalize, laughter, laughter, exasperate, exasperate, utilize, utilize, deflect, deflect, prolong, prolong, erosion, erosion, nationwide, nationwide, ignorant, ignorant, counteract, counteract, concentration, concentration, confiscation, confiscation, circumstance, circumstance, breakage, breakage, bloody, bloody. Fort, fort, shudder, shudder, tenure, tenure, loath, loath, outstretch, outstretch, Saturn, Saturn, usage, usage, symptom, symptom, forefather, forefather, development, development, faultless, faultless, generator, generator, collective, collective, formulate, formulate, fatten, fatten, amicable, amicable, downpour, downpour, frantic, frantic, kidnap, kidnap, latitude, latitude, ethnic, ethnic, gunpowder, gunpowder, demonstrator, demonstrator, symbolize, symbolize, contemplation, contemplation. Physically, physically, solace, solace, undertaker, undertaker. Skim, skim. Variability, variability. Typically, typically. Woodland, woodland. Glimmer, glimmer. Sway, sway. Gratitude, gratitude. Surrogate, surrogate. Immortal, immortal. Mislay, mislay. Stuffy, stuffy. Dispense, dispense. Bang, bang. Automation, automation. Complement, complement. Elliptical, elliptical. Retard, retard. Significant, significant. Investment, investment. Reconvene, reconvene. Conference, conference. Phase, phase. Vigorous, vigorous. Omnivore, omnivore. Inborn, inborn. Cosmos, cosmos. Laboratory, laboratory. Dictate, dictate. Establishment, establishment. Illuminate, illuminate. Shortcut, shortcut. Adorable, adorable. Retention, retention. Superior, superior. Lieutenant, lieutenant. Mold, mold. Unprecedented, unprecedented. Ridicule, ridicule. Referee, referee. Extravagant, extravagant. Deform, deform. Humiliating, humiliating. Perplexity, perplexity. Detachment, detachment. Respondent, respondent. Vaguely, vaguely. Vulnerable, vulnerable. Pilgrimage, pilgrimage. Multitude, multitude. Generation, generation. So, so. Bureau, bureau. Fictional, fictional. Disdain, disdain. Realistic, realistic. Regress, regress. Pinch, pinch. Distinguish, distinguish. Immense, immense. Assistant, assistant. Premonition, premonition. Improvise, improvise. Geographical, geographical. Indebted, indebted. Solidify, solidify. Cancerous, cancerous. Intoxicate, intoxicate. Twilight, twilight. Intense, intense. Mediterranean, Mediterranean. Radiant, radiant. Amass, amass. Citing, citing. Compelling, compelling. Deputy, deputy. Advertisement, advertisement. Citizenship, citizenship. Nutrient, nutrient. Predecessor, predecessor. abstain, abstain. Incidentally, incidentally. Voiceless, voiceless. Chuckle, chuckle. Embrace, embrace. Outstand, outstand. Laborious, laborious. Prospective, prospective. Necessarily, necessarily. Extension, extension. Derivative, derivative. Interruption, interruption. Backbone, backbone. Revoke, revoke. Depression, depression. Astronomer, astronomer. Atmosphere, atmosphere. Mournful, mournful. Contempt, contempt. Pole, pole. Stutter, stutter. Exhaustion, exhaustion. Nonsense, nonsense. Segregation, segregation. Famine, famine. Bondage, bondage. Needless, needless. Depress, depress. Grill, grill. Enact, enact. Heartland, heartland. Rainforest, rainforest. Biography, biography. Hypocritical, hypocritical. Pleasantly, pleasantly. Precision, precision. Smuggle, smuggle. Overrule, overrule. Apparatus, apparatus. Proponent, proponent. Flaw, flaw. Distinct, distinct. Vaccination, vaccination. Comparative, comparative. Environmental, environmental. Oracle, oracle. Overtime, overtime. Beguile, beguile. Affirmation, affirmation. Candidate, candidate. Nerve, nerve. Misguide, misguide. Jurisdiction, jurisdiction. Adherent, adherent. Prudent, prudent. Philosophical, philosophical. Afterlife, afterlife. Meltdown, meltdown. Endanger, endanger. Cripple, cripple. Adequate, adequate. Aristocracy, aristocracy. Outwit, outwit. Heartbreaking, heartbreaking. Frequency, frequency. Remains, remains. Probability, probability. Calamity, calamity. Circumference, circumference. Precisely, precisely. Lump, lump. Incurrence, incurrence. Extent, extent. Fracture, fracture. Urinate, urinate. Doctrine, doctrine. Barley, barley. Heiress, heiress. Glut, glut. Bilateral, bilateral. Distract, distract, resilience, resilience, lunge, lunge, tension, tension, empirical, empirical, domesticate, domesticate, complicate, complicate, fundamental, fundamental, undaunted, undaunted, downturn, downturn, ember, ember, substance, substance, horrific, horrific.
Parachute, parachute. Cynicism, cynicism. Peel, peel. Illicit, illicit. Conventional, conventional. Zeal, zeal. Submit, submit. Dissect, dissect. Surgical, surgical. Nevertheless, nevertheless. Threefold, threefold. Commit, commit. Elimination, elimination. Apprentice, apprentice. Mechanic, mechanic. Bass, bass. Excursion, excursion. Attribute, attribute. Uncomfortable, uncomfortable. Propagate, propagate. Underground, underground. Proceed, proceed. Entertain, entertain. Combination, combination. Inhabit, inhabit. Reproduce, reproduce. Manuscript, manuscript. Rot, rot. Senile, senile. Specialty, specialty. Stock, stock. Engagement, engagement. Prognosis, prognosis. Commerce, commerce. Predicate, predicate. Compact, compact. Conjunction, conjunction. Ordeal, ordeal. Underestimate, underestimate. Elastic, elastic. Congest, congest. Orator, orator. Heedful, heedful. Intermediate, intermediate. Anguished, anguished. Hindsight, hindsight. Egotism, egotism. Contradictory, contradictory. Foliage, foliage. Gamble, gamble. Dehumanize, dehumanize. Attentively, attentively. Jobless, jobless. Prerequisite, prerequisite. Withdraw, withdraw. Compassionate, compassionate. Humanitarian, humanitarian. Regardless, regardless. Refinement, refinement. Guild, guild. Underline, underline. Vendor, vendor. Implementation, implementation. Diplomat, diplomat. Assess, assess. Hinder, hinder. Region, region. Compatibility, compatibility. Gobble, gobble. sloping, sloping, tedious, tedious, diarrhea, diarrhea, perspiration, perspiration, plunder, plunder, legible, legible. Residential, residential, tariff, tariff, aspiring, aspiring, disrupt, disrupt, indicative, indicative, anticipate, anticipate, found, found, fingerprint, fingerprint, encode, encode, tumultuous, tumultuous, solely, solely, pavement, pavement, circuit, circuit, nitrogen, nitrogen, attendant, attendant, torment, torment, snap, snap, spare, spare, ecology, ecology, exclamation, exclamation, reshuffle, reshuffle, collaboration, collaboration, stability, stability, protest, protest, criticize, criticize. Beeline, beeline, sustain, sustain, coordination, coordination, meteor, meteor, fragility, fragility, goodness, goodness, lust, lust, scant, scant, spoilage, spoilage, intermittent, intermittent, allot, allot, facility, facility, antidepressant, antidepressant, faint, faint, ward, ward, acidity, acidity, presumption, presumption, extract, extract, sob, sob, domestic, domestic, unfair, unfair, nostril, nostril, supervisor, supervisor, technical, technical, pragmatism, pragmatism. Disruptive, disruptive, activation, activation, cryptic, cryptic, pit, pit, fluent, fluent, preserve, preserve, renovate, renovate, streak, streak, illegible, illegible, identifiable, identifiable, sullen, sullen, second-hand, second-hand, digestive, digestive, challenging, challenging, meek, meek, coachman, coachman, dignity, dignity, impersonal, impersonal, lavatory, lavatory, butcher, butcher, clause, clause, suffrage, suffrage, impending, impending, federal, federal, unwritten, unwritten. apt, apt, fallacy, fallacy, irresponsible, irresponsible, sterile, sterile, corrosion, corrosion, identity, identity, stationary, stationary, benevolence, benevolence, mossy, mossy, orderly, orderly, reactivate, reactivate, accompany, accompany, previously, previously, admiration, admiration, significantly, significantly, familiarity, familiarity, overseas, overseas, legitimate, legitimate, sleet, sleet, reminisce, reminisce, abandonment, abandonment, indifference, indifference, deserved, deserved, hostage, hostage, aboriginal, aboriginal. Drowsy, drowsy, vacillate, vacillate, trace, trace, distraction, distraction, pessimistic, pessimistic, insolent, insolent, ensue, ensue, absurd, absurd, work out, work out, overlap, overlap, inactivity, inactivity, improvement, improvement, harness, harness, impassive, impassive, offspring, offspring, inaccessible, inaccessible, fertility, fertility, premature, premature, unstained, unstained, inflame, inflame, indigent, indigent, construction, construction, flammable, flammable, impatiently, impatiently, anecdote, anecdote. Inflexible, inflexible, enforce, enforce, eyeball, eyeball, oblong, oblong, conqueror, conqueror, drudgery, drudgery, ownership, ownership, illusory, illusory, extinct, extinct, capricious, capricious, Neptune, Neptune, exterminate, exterminate, ulcer, ulcer, expel, expel, horse, horse, missionary, missionary, interchange, interchange, preoccupy, preoccupy, journalist, journalist, linguist, linguist, realty, realty, cohere, cohere, electronics, electronics, marsh, marsh, anthem, anthem. Gracious, gracious, mechanism, mechanism, interfere, interfere, partial, partial, therein, therein, merchandise, merchandise, haven, haven, tyrant, tyrant, announce, announce, Catholicism, Catholicism, patch, patch, biased, biased, persuasion, persuasion, weird, weird, royalty, royalty, wrench, wrench, material, material, dazzle, dazzle, tolerable, tolerable, lush, lush, reunion, reunion, signature, signature, vaporize, vaporize, miraculous, miraculous, digit, digit. Commonplace, commonplace, shameless, shameless, manifest, manifest, ring, ring, endow, endow, infliction, infliction, cognition, cognition, billionaire, billionaire, solemnity, solemnity, climax, climax, depletion, depletion, oblige, oblige, forsake, forsake, grudge, grudge, imprisonment, imprisonment, adjustment, adjustment, rebellion, rebellion, outcast, outcast, explicit, explicit, aggressive, aggressive, multiple, multiple, heroine, heroine, heatstroke, heatstroke, mutually, mutually, furrow, furrow. Translator, translator, evaporation, evaporation, hallucination, hallucination, nocturnal, nocturnal, blender, blender, drench, drench, juror, juror, cringe, cringe, hypocrite, hypocrite, pending, pending, contentious, contentious, legislation, legislation, soothe, soothe, meager, meager, devastating, devastating, grateful, grateful, animosity, animosity, interpret, interpret, enclosure, enclosure, diverse, diverse, Antarctic, Antarctic, stuck, stuck, incapacity, incapacity, ensure, ensure, radioactive, radioactive. Extinguish, extinguish, matriarchy, matriarchy, diagnosis, diagnosis, agonize, agonize, declaration, declaration, confirm, confirm, analyze, analyze, sanction, sanction, sensationalize, sensationalize, shabby, shabby, dietary, dietary, bow, bow, surgery, surgery, scaredy cat, scaredy cat, convenient, convenient, dishonesty, dishonesty, telling, telling, sperm, sperm, phantom, phantom, attest, attest, representation, representation, loyalty, loyalty, abatement, abatement, dissonance, dissonance, deficient, deficient. Ecological, ecological, epidemic, epidemic, meritorious, meritorious, interact, interact, sturdy, sturdy, acceptance, acceptance, stitch, stitch, venomous, venomous, frustrated, frustrated, linguistic, linguistic, rotten, rotten, constrict, constrict, wane, wane, amoral, amoral, equilibrium, equilibrium, ban, ban, curtail, curtail, adept, adept, messy, messy, detector, detector, astronaut, astronaut, portable, portable, brisk, brisk, sneer, sneer, preside, preside. Retort, retort, dominance, dominance, withered, withered, apathy, apathy, thorough, thorough, incline, incline, decade, decade, fortify, fortify, possess, possess, slant, slant, matchmaker, matchmaker, conclusion, conclusion, enclose, enclose, virulent, virulent, artisan, artisan, bitterness, bitterness, blare, blare, hopeful, hopeful, competitive, competitive, discourage, discourage, bead, bead, deployment, deployment, captivity, captivity, penetrate, penetrate, statistics, statistics. Assistance, assistance, compass, compass, dumbly, dumbly, heartily, heartily, uphold, uphold, ransom, ransom, generosity, generosity, intensive, intensive, embarrassed, embarrassed, anarchy, anarchy, unrelenting, unrelenting, monotony, monotony, threshold, threshold, frontier, frontier, inhibition, inhibition, insurmountable, insurmountable, inoculate, inoculate, trustworthy, trustworthy, extremist, extremist, adverse, adverse, indispensable, indispensable, unpredictable, unpredictable, alteration, alteration, composite, composite, disorderly, disorderly. Recreation, recreation, constantly, constantly, fairness, fairness, cooperate, cooperate, maze, maze, claimant, claimant, righteousness, righteousness, elude, elude, forthwith, forthwith, outrageous, outrageous, optimal, optimal, majesty, majesty, separation, separation, superb, superb, rage, rage, currency, currency, chore, chore, anesthetic, anesthetic, devote, devote, receipt, receipt, manipulate, manipulate, parameter, parameter, painkiller, painkiller, increasingly, increasingly, alert, alert. Unfortunate, unfortunate, sabotage, sabotage, starvation, starvation, repress, repress, pedestrian, pedestrian, obesity, obesity, tolerance, tolerance, psychiatrist, psychiatrist, spur, spur, milestone, milestone, infancy, infancy, stricken, stricken, pharmacist, pharmacist, murderer, murderer, guilt, guilt, violate, violate, feature, feature, oratory, oratory, transfusion, transfusion, flutter, flutter, reconcile, reconcile, aggression, aggression, architecture, architecture, actual, actual, electron, electron. Analogy, analogy, inevitably, inevitably, unilateral, unilateral, stately, stately, breakdown, breakdown, patiently, patiently, adoptive, adoptive, legally, legally, interactive, interactive, hydrant, hydrant, combustible, combustible, productively, productively, appraise, appraise, sentiment, sentiment, suitable, suitable, austere, austere, populate, populate, enrollment, enrollment, permeate, permeate, orchard, orchard, controversy, controversy, warm-hearted, warm-hearted, avoidance, avoidance, qualify, qualify, bearer, bearer. Animate, animate. Cub, cub. Ashamed, ashamed. Slit, slit. Repeatedly, repeatedly. Overactive, overactive. Layout, layout. Expectation, expectation. Neglected, neglected. Seabed, seabed. Intellect, intellect. Diversion, diversion. Consultant, consultant. Outlet, outlet. Unlikely, unlikely. Commonly, commonly. Anonymous, anonymous. Overpopulation, overpopulation. Aesthetic, aesthetic. Fume, fume. Probe, probe. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Wretched, wretched. Guardian, guardian. Mole, mole.